Hi, it's me, Mark. I already did this whole video, but I figured out my phone was recording, so we're doing it again. So, today's just one of those days where everything just goes to shit, no matter how hard you try. So I posted at about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around those areas. I don't know. I can't remember. And it is 2:45 in the afternoon. So, it's not even time to eat yet. Actually, I think that clock is wrong. I think it's 4 o'clock. Anyways, it's the afternoon. I'm hungry, and here are the 2 story times that have also happened to me today that have been shit. So, I didn't want to be sitting in my dwell of a basement anymore, so I went up and I sat with my grandparents. My grandparents, I mean my grandma and my great-grandma, which people call Granny. So I was sitting with my granny, and my grandma waltzed in. She has this, lower cut shirt on both sides, and it, has a lower, neckline on it. And it's kind of like a flaily, kind of summery shirt. It's kind of like tissue paper. But anyways, she's in this shirt. She sits down. She's sweating. She's sweating because she's been outside and everything. She sits there for 5 minutes, and then she goes, this shirt makes me feel really insecure. And I'm like, okay. Then she looks right at me, dead in my eyes, and says, "Don't you know that feeling?" Bitch. So, I ignored that. I let that slip by. I don't really care at this point, because the shit morning I've had and the no sleep I've gotten. So they're like, "You want to come with us to do this and that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So I get my binder on, I put some shoes on, we go. There was a project I was working on almost all night, and I needed more supplies for it. Those supplies are at my dad's house. I'm at my mom's house. I don't have those supplies, so I wanted that and some other stuff from my dad's house. So I texted my mom, I'm like, "Hey, if Grandma and Granny want to drive me to your place, can you give me the keys so I can just get in, grab my stuff, and go?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure. Just have them not drop you off here, but have them come pick up the keys from this place." So we're driving there, and I'm tired. I fall asleep in the car on and off, and it's not even that far of a drive, which is so depressing. When we get there, I'm fully awake, and I'm like, "I'll go in by myself. I'll be quick. See you in a minute." I get out of the car. I slam the door. I run inside, and I start pressing the button for the elevator to open. And I take one step in the elevator. And what does my grandma say? "Honey, wait for me!" This bitch was running full speed to get into the elevator with me. So I press the second floor, and we're waiting. And this elevator's taken a long time, which means it's bad time for small talk. So this elevator of death smells like paint. Fresh paint. And I'm like, "Wow, that smells like paint." It reminds me of the walls I'm repainting in my room at my dad's house. And she's like, "Oh, what color are you doing?" I'm like, "Blue." She's like, "What color?" Or what kind of blue? And I'm like, "Baby." She's like, "Oh." She was acting all weird because I wanted my room baby blue. Okay, whatever. So we wait for about a minute because this elevator's taking for fucking ever. We get onto the floor. I walk in. I'm like, "Hey, Mom." My grandma walks in. "Hi." She gives me the keys. It obviously lasts for too long because my grandma. Anywho, we finally start to walk out, and I'm like, "Hey, I want to say something to Mom, so can you kind of go?" My grandma starts to slowly walk out the door. She opens the door and stands in the doorway. So I lean over my mom's desk and I say to her face, "We're gonna have a funny story time when you get home tonight." She looks at me and says, "Okay. I'm going to dinner with a friend tonight, so it'll be 7, but," I said, "Perfect. It'll be nice and full for this story time." So I get up, I walk with my grandma, I go back downstairs in the silent elevator of death, and we get in the car. I didn't. There was a CPAP place, and I thought it was another retail store. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to get demonetized or copyright or whatever. Not sponsored. So you didn't know the name of the store. Forget I said that. Anyways, we were joking around, and I was like, "Oh, is that over by the bookstore?" And they're like, "What bookstore?" I'm like, "The Half Price Bookstore." They're like, "No, but do you want to go there?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And so they're like, "Sweet, we'll start heading out there." And my grandma, like, we're driving not too far away, and she said, "I'll give you $10." I'm like, "Thanks." And because she's like, "Do you have any money?" I'm like, "I wish. If only I had a job." Then she turns around and says, "I'll give you $10." And turns and looks at me and says, "Can't buy any witch books though." There it is, ladies and gentlemen and thems. She said, "No witch books." Then my great grandma, pokes her head in and says, "No books about demons either." Woo! So I finally fall back asleep. We get to the bookstore, and I'm walking around, and I go to the witchcraft section. I look at the anime. I look at the games, and I walk by them, and they're like, "Wait, have you found anything?" I said, "Nope," and I just kept making a beeline for it. So finally, I found this Cthulhu notebook. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. I'm not too sure. But I got that Cthulhu notebook, which they said no books about witches or demons, but little do they know. Cthulhu is a demon that supposedly lives at the bottom of the sea and is waiting to come up to destroy the world. Beat your hack, bitch. So, there was something else that happened. I can't remember for the life of me. I'm so pissed off I can't remember. But anyway, I'll make another story time. Don't worry, it's not even supper time yet. Shit's about to go down. Oh, and speaking of which, this is the pentacle necklace I was talking about in the last Grandma Christian video. So, if you like this, please hit the like button. And if you could, please subscribe. It helps me a lot. I have 5 subscribers, and I'm so sad. I have no friends. So anyways, guys, have fun, goodbye, and don't die. Bye.